My name's Tashina Boyer Armstrong. I'm an Indigenous native. I'm a California native. My tribe is Mono and Kawaiisu, which is in Southern California and the Central Valley. I wrote a piece titled 18 Broken Treaties. I was inspired for that because of the things that were going on my reservation and seeing a lot of the stuff that my grandparents went through, and especially with enrollment and disenrollment and just a lot of politics around land. Um, and I was always inspired by a story that my great grandmother told me about where she was born and raised in Sycamore, California, which is up in the foothills in the Central Valley. And she was a young girl, and she was working in the fields with her parents, and she was a lot lighter skinned than her parents, and she had like lighter colored hair, colored eyes, and these men went on to the reservation and took her away because they thought that she was stolen or kidnapped by the natives, and they took her down to the valley where she's never been before, and they cut her hair, put her in boarding school down in the valley, and she's never left the reservation. So it was her first experience of being around um, a lot of the people in the town, and she didn't speak their language, but she was told not to speak Mono, but that was all she knew. Um, and well, anyways, years later, they did someone wrote a newspaper article about her, and I remember my grandma had it, and I remember reading it as a kid. And I always thought, oh my God, like I was just blown away by that story, because in the story, she's so gentle and forgiving. Like in the end of it, she said that she forgives them. But I'm like, how often does this happen to our people and we never get justice, or that it's never looked at as as severe as it is? Like they're basically kidnapping our children and taking justice in their own hands when it's not like that. Like what are they doing to indigenous people? Like why are they it just goes on, and it still happens today. So this piece inspired me to write that and connect that the broken treaties to the story of my great great grandmother and what she went through. And my hope is to gain add awareness, like gain awareness for this type of stuff, because it still goes on today. And it's not just with indigenous people, but it's also with Latinos. It's also like through eugenics and people like at the Palestinians. Like we see this continuing in different ways, and it's sad. And I do want to bring awareness to it. So my hope is for my piece to educate others, and also um, I guess bring it more to life. I feel like a lot of times when these things come up, California gets like a green flag, like, oh, we're okay here, but it's not. Like it still happens. There's still reservations here. Why do we still have those? So that was my point with this piece. I would like to continue with this project and maybe dive deeper into each treaty that was broken and relate it back to my family or back to the stories of indigenous people on that land. That would be probably a bigger project going forward, but that would be one of my hopes to work on that. I am currently a graduate student at San Francisco State University. I am working on my MFA in English creative writing and teaching of composition. And I should be graduating spring of this year. I'm currently working on my thesis, which is a big project. I didn't realize how unprepared I was until I got into this. So it's basically I'm working on a creative hybrid memoir piece that has like photos, poetry, prose pieces, and also creative memoir pieces. So it's a lot, and it's heavy. And if yeah, if I could have told myself something in the past, it'd be like to start working on it earlier. So yeah, so I'm figuring out the hard way, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that I'm doing this. I do have a great team supporting me, and lots of meetings, so many meetings. but they're helpful. So it is just my thesis, and I feel like I need to understand that like a publishable piece will be a little different, and I'll be more raw about that. But with this one, I feel like I got to kind of dress it up for the university, which is hard because um, I feel like a lot of times we're in these spaces where we need higher education, we need that piece of paper to show that we know what we're doing. But then in the end, I feel like we're feeding into our own silencing and our invisibility. And the what I write is raw. It's very front and center, and I feel like that's what I do with a lot of my pieces.